Yo, Rocco B, Scotty G, highly explicit NFL podcast. We're back, episode 18. I'm Rocco B. How you doing? We got Scotty G in California.
How you doing?
We are fucking loaded up today. We are fucking loaded for bear. We are fucking hot. I'm telling you.
Rock. We gotta take a second here and you hear about this Tebow shit?
I think we gotta take more than a second. I think we gotta take more than a fucking second.
10 years later, we're still talking about Tebow is beyond me, but we got to get into some Tebow talk here. And I gotta preface my comments by saying and letting everybody know, letting the world know here that you think I hate Josh Allen? You think I hate Tom Brady? My hatred for Tebow goes beyond all these guys. I've never liked Tim Tebow. March 21st, 2012 is a day I'll never forget. I'm living here in San Diego. I'm living in Ocean Beach, which is a beautiful beach town. I'm like a block away. I'm a little block away from the beach. You know, I'm chilling. And I wake up, and I got about 30 text messages from people, friends, family, you name it. And I'm like, what the fuck happened? Like, what's going on? I'm like nervous. I start going through. Everyone's like, the Jets traded for Tim Tebow. One of the worst days of my life.
I'm going to tell you, Scotty, listen, we've known each other for, holy shit, going on almost 20 years now. No, you didn't hate Tebow more than you did Josh Allen. I mean, I'm just sorry. But
dude,
I know you hated the motherfucker. I get it.
Tim Tebow can't play as a quarterback. He's the worst throwing quarterback ever. Now, college, I'll give it to you.
Sure.
Probably is the best college quarterback of all time.
And you know my feelings on Tebow. I love the fucking guy. But go ahead.
I know. But what I'm saying is this nonsense about him not being able to play tight end in the NFL at this point, the reasons are beyond me. Like, they're not even saying, like, hey, the guy hasn't played in 8 years, which then I might be like, okay, I'm on board with that. That's not the excuse. The excuse is the fact that he's transitioning from quarterback to tight end. Let me just read some comments. Booger McFarland, former D tackle of Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Colts, he says this is an insult to the tight end position. And then he referred to white privilege. We'll get into that a little later. You got Rob Ninkovich, the former linebacker for the Patriots. He says Tebow or any other QB lined up, he would eat him alive if he saw any quarterback lined up at tight end. Jeff Darlington, the ESPN reporter, he says the members of the Jags organization, they're not only thrilled about it, that he said it sends a bad message to the team about guys trying to make the roster. Marcus Spears, big swagoo, he says there's no way Tebow even plays tight end for the Jags this year and that he's got no chance of making it. This is the kind of shit that's being spewed about this guy. I mean, it's crazy because let me give you a quick list and then I'll let you go on your rant because I know you're not happy about this either.
Sure, and we all know that these fucking guys are trying to find something to talk about because it's May 13th. I mean, we get it, but go ahead.
You know what? It's just the day I thought I had to fucking defend Tebow, I never thought would come. The day I had to defend Tebow. Let me quick list and just bear with me for a second, okay?
All right. I'm here because I'm fucking fired up, but go ahead.
I mean, some of these names I'm pretty sure you've heard of. You know, there's some guys, they did okay in the NFL. Antonio Gates. You know how much football he played in college? Oh, yeah, that's right, 0. The guy played fucking basketball in college. Jimmy Graham played 1 year of college after playing basketball for the Miami Hurricanes. Ziggy Ansah, this guy never even heard of American football until his sophomore year of college. He had to literally learn the game, okay? He turned out okay. Nate Epner, your boy, he's a rugby guy. He was a walk-on at Ohio State, played for the Patriots, and now he's on the Giants. Jordan Mulatto, this guy never played an ounce of football. He was a fucking rugby player. And I understand the sports are similar, but quarterback is in the same sport. It's the same goddamn sport. Jordan Mulatto, he's expected to start this year. He's an offensive lineman for the Eagles. And then I got 4 other names for you. Greg Ward, another Eagles guy. He played quarterback for Houston. He transitioned to wide receiver. Terrell Pryor, we all know him. Altuna! Quarterback for Ohio State, man. I mean, he actually wasn't too bad he was a jerk-off, apparently, because he couldn't stay on a team. But, I mean, he played for the Jets. I didn't think he was a bad wide receiver.
He was a better wide receiver.
Brad Smith, quarterback. This guy set records in the Big 12 for Missouri as a quarterback. And he ended up being one of the Jets' best weapons as far as he basically played everything. Tight end, wide receiver, running back, everything.
Absolutely.
And then your boy, Julian Edelman. He was a quarterback for Kent State. We were just discussing whether he's going to be a fucking Hall of Famer a couple weeks ago. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you kidding me with this? So we're going to say that because of that, Tim Tebow, who I always thought would have been a better running back or tight end than he was a quarterback, that he can't transition from quarterback to tight end? Is that a real conversation we're having? Now, again, if we're going to bring in the fact that it's been a 6 to 8 year layoff, that's a different conversation. Then you have my attention, but no one's even mentioning that. That's like in the rear view. It's like, oh, yeah, he hasn't played in 8 years. But can you believe he's transitioning? What an insult to the position.
Well, I like to tell you, but
fuck up.
now in 2021, I'll tell you, fucking the word transitioning means a hell of a lot more to me than fucking, changing your position. But, and that's unfortunate. All right. So I'm, you're going to be the calmer one of the two of us because all those fucking guys that you just mentioned, why did they make it into the NFL as either a guy that didn't play the sport in college or a guy who played a different position in college and then they made it in the NFL at a different spot?
You're asking me, or was this a rhetorical question?
Rhetorical question because they're great athletes, right? They're fucking great athletes.
I was gonna answer it. They're all football players.
They're all football players. They're all pro athletes. They're all great athletes in just being athletic itself. Tim Tebow, what a piece of shit, right? He ain't fucking athletic. There's no way that this guy who, won 2 national titles at Florida, won a fucking Heisman, was running the ball, running people over, throwing the ball, jumping and throwing the ball at the same time. A first-round draft pick in the NFL, killing it for Denver when he came in for Kyle Orton, fucking winning a playoff game, and then all of a sudden he's been outed in the league because he can't fucking play. Oh, the same guy who then said, I'm not going to fucking play baseball since my senior year of high school, but let me give it a shot. I want to become a professional. The fucking guy made the AA All-Star team, which the AA is the hardest fucking minor league system in baseball. He made the fucking All-Star team playing baseball. He hasn't played since fucking high school. What a piece of shit athlete this guy is. He can't do shit. You're going to tell me that perfect list. I love where you went with Gates and Graham. You can even went Julius fucking Peppers or fucking Tony Gonzalez, guys who play basketball and football and all that. Nobody's talking shit about these guys. But all of a sudden, Tebow, because maybe every once in a while, he goes down on a knee and acts like he's praying. This guy is like the biggest piece of shit, the biggest white privileged guy on earth, that all of a sudden, Urban Meyer, his coach, who's like his de facto football dad, gives him another shot when finally Urban gets to an NFL team is like fucking out of people's minds. Like they can't believe that. Oh, nobody said it about Carlos Hyde. Nobody said that fucking, Carlos Hyde, who's going downhill as a running back because he's getting older. Urban Meyer brought him in from Ohio State because he fucking recruited the kid. Nobody's saying there's fucking nepotism or fucking whateverism or Tebowism there. Give me a fucking break. Nobody says shit about Eli Manning, Peyton Manning, getting all the fucking privilege. Nobody talked about Eli Manning being privileged, getting traded from the fucking Chargers, saying, I don't want to play there anymore. Nobody's talking about fucking Arch Manning, the fucking kid, their nephew who's going to have a pick of a litter going to college. You think he'd have the pick of the litter going to college if his last name wasn't fucking Manning? Give me a fucking break. And then nobody else wants to talk about Matt Rule. I looked at Carolina's fucking roster. Where did Matt Rule coach, Scotty, the past 2 teams he was in college?
Baylor, and then I don't know where he was before that.
Temple, right? This fucking guy.
Because he's got Robbie from Temple.
Robbie Anderson, Randerson. He's got 8 fucking guys on the roster that are from Temple. Yeah, and 3 guys that were on the roster from Baylor when he coached there.
Rock, I hate to break this to you, and this is some hard truth. This is fucking life.
It's
you
life.
Don't think this occurs. You don't think this occurs in my job or your job,
absolutely,
or anything you do in life. Nepotism is fucking everywhere, dude. It's just a thing. People are more comfortable with their people, their friends, their family, because they already know how they work. They already get along with them. They already know their vibe. I mean, that's the hardest thing when you are hiring or bringing somebody in to a new situation is you don't know anything about them. You don't know if they're an asshole or a thief or if they're going to vibe well with the rest of the crew. So yeah, a lot of times that is why nepotism does occur. But my whole thing is with this is everyone's blaming Tebow on this. How is he at fault for Urban Meyer reaching out? Shouldn't we, if anything, be like, hey, Urban, what are you doing bringing this guy in?
Exactly.
But, I mean, I guess there are some people saying that, I guess. But for the most part, it's all about, like, Tebow, why are you accepting this opportunity?
Hate.
It's like, why? The guy loves football. He wants to play. I can't knock him for that.
If he
gets an opportunity, take it.
I hate to tell you, people are like he was a garbage football player. Do you understand that there are certain guys that need to be in a certain type of system. Why do they not say that about Cam Newton? Cam Newton can't play in all systems. Robert Griffin III couldn't play in all systems. You have to build a system around a fucking guy. And every time a Cam Newton goes somewhere, a Lamar Jackson goes somewhere, or someone who's mobile and someone who can throw, but they can't be in a pro-style offense like maybe the rest of the quarterbacks or a lot of the quarterbacks, nobody says that that's fucking nepotism towards them. Nobody says, hey, blah, blah, blah. Why is it Tebow that maybe Urban Meyer's got a system and has a fucking perfect fit position?
He's not even going to be a quarterback, though. He's going to be a tight end.
Exactly, but forget about the tight end. It's, can he help the football team win? Everybody knows he's not going to be a quarterback. They just drafted Trevor Lawrence. There is something with Tebow that people are hating on, and I'm going to go into the uncomfortable shit right now. I'm going to go into what the fuck this country is turning into. Why is this situation with Tim Tebow have anything to do with Colin fucking Kaepernick? Why is this the story today? If you go on and watch all the big talking head fucking networks, which I can't stand, I almost wanted to throw my fucking TV out the window today. Why is Kaepernick and Tebow mentioned in the same breath? If you want to mention Tebow and Kaepernick in the same breath, I'll give you one thing they got in common. They've been out of the league for 5+ fucking years. Why are you saying because Tebow gets a shot, which he's not even playing quarterback, why would you say that he shouldn't have been with the Jaguars? It should have been Kaepernick. What the fuck?
First off, I'll say this. I don't know his skill set, but Kaepernick probably has a better shot coming back as a wide receiver than a quarterback. He wasn't a very good quarterback his entire career, and he fell off tremendously before all of his kneeling and everything he stood for. The only comparison between the two is that, they both stand for something in a sense, but Tebow's never done what he's done to stand for anything. It's literally just him. He's just a religious person.
Well, what's
and
funny?
That's just his thing.
What's funny
Colin
is
Kaepernick literally was trying to stand for a movement.
They both kneel for something, to be honest.
But you know what I mean?
No, I know.
Tebow never did it to bring awareness to anything. It was literally just his own shit.
That's his thing.
If you told him, hey, we need you to go off camera whenever you do this, he probably would have done it. Think about it. Tebow's not very outspoken. He hasn't even spoken about 90% of the shit that's been going on in the world the last 2-3 years. He just wears his religious beliefs on his sleeve. And there's a lot of people do hate on that. And there's nothing wrong with that. The only hate I ever had for him is people would be sucking this guy off and love this guy. And I'm like, the guy's not very good. It was more like a sideshow attraction. People were more fascinated by the fact that he would make a prayer, and then the last 2 minutes of the game, he would fucking throw a football out of his ass and have a crazy play and win the game. Now, yeah, that's something to talk about, but that doesn't make you a good player. To me, that's what bothered me about him is everyone acted like he was a Peyton Manning in the league, and I'm like, no, he's not very good.
No.
So let's stop giving him credit. But
no,
to compare him to Colin Kaepernick is very. And honestly, I understand the heightened awareness. I understand the climate we're in right now in this world, and it's good and bad. It's good because I think there is awareness that needs to be brought to certain situations, but it's also bad because we can't intertwine race and all this with every fucking aspect of life. I guess I'm coming from a white guy. I guess I can't really say that, but I feel like everything's being race baited now. You can't make a decision without it being oh, is it because you're white, black, green, purple, blue, whatever. It's just, come on, man.
I've always felt this way. It has nothing to do with race. If you're the fucking best, or if you give the team the best chance to win, I don't give a shit what color you are. They don't give a shit what color you are. Can you win the fucking game?
I think at one point it did matter, but I think in the last 20 years, I think it matters a hell of a lot less, if at all.
Sure.
Right now, the top 5 quarterbacks in the league are all either black or half black.
And a lot of things back 60, 70, 50 years ago don't matter as much either, and we'll go into that with your Alabama quarterbacks. But I will tell you, that the fact that I see on TV now, and folks, this is why I want you guys to get away from the fucking TV, please, because ESPN, Fox Sports, they're all becoming the new age CNN. They are trying to make the biggest light out of the more negative shit. They make it
with the
negative.
whole white privilege thing. Like, I'm not saying white privilege doesn't exist, but what I'm saying is, how are we going to put that on Tebow? Is that Tebow's fault? He got a fucking opportunity. Like, dude,
Do you
come on,
think
man.
if these fucking guys,
if that's my point is, if that's the real issue, then you need to address that with the NFL going further, and you need to address that with the organization. That's not Urban Meyer, and that's not Tebow. I'm sorry.
Well, no, but it's not the NFL. It's the NFL has admitted, yeah, did we fuck around a little bit and kind of blackball Kaepernick? Sure. But don't get me started with Kaepernick. He had the fucking opportunity 2 years ago, and he didn't take it. He completely fucking said, I'm doing things my way, and blah, blah, blah. He doesn't want to play football. Let's just get that straight. But hold on. With Urban Meyer, it's Urban Meyer. Why isn't the spotlight on him? He has control of the football operations. Him and Trent Baalke fucking with Jacksonville have the football operational control in Jacksonville. They can do... I don't care what anybody thinks, Swagoo, fucking, Dominique Foxworth, any of these motherfuckers. I don't give a shit what they think. It's not their job. It's Urban Meyer's job, and honestly, he can do whatever the fuck he wants. He brought in Carlos Hyde when he's got James Robinson and they drafted Travis Etienne. Nobody's talking about that. But they want to talk about Tebow because, he's been out of the league and he's fucking his boy. He can bring him in because he's the fucking director of operations.
Let me say something, too, that I think will make all more sense. The comparison between Kaepernick and Tim Tebow, what this country is more about, what this world is more about, more than anything, and I hate to say this because it's a sad truth, is fucking money. And you know what Kaepernick did? He created a fan base that literally did not want to watch football based on their beliefs or opinions. He pushed some fans away. Now, whether you want to say that's right or wrong, if you want to say those fans who pushed away were racist, they were stupid and not understanding what he was standing for, that's all well and good. But the bottom line is the NFL looks at their numbers and they're saying, hey, we lost, maybe 20% of our fan base because they don't want to watch it because they're worried about the anthem now. That costs them fucking money.
Yeah.
You know what Tim Tebow did? He brought more people in. Like, honestly, how many people did you hear stop watching the game because Tebow was there? I feel like you had more people that had no fucking clue what was going on with football that were like, oh, I can't wait to see Tebow.
That's a great point.
And it's like, because they were like enamored by like the religious aspect of it. So one is actually bringing in money. One is potentially causing money to not come in. I mean, you want to know the truth about Ray Rice? Ray Rice didn't do anything different than a ton of other guys did before he was on videotape. The NFL's been sweeping that shit under the rug for years. The difference is the videotape caused an entire culture of women and other people who were against it that to say, fuck, the NFL is really fucked up. We're not going to watch this anymore. And it cost them money. So what did they do to Ray Rice? They fucking blackballed him. They got him out.
Yep.
Like, you cost them money, you're going to get out. I mean, that's the fear that Deshaun Watson's facing. If this all comes out to where he's guilty, I mean, that's another thing. If you get a group or a fan base that says, hey, we don't support this, we're not going to watch, and it costs them money, they will get rid of him. Now, if the fan base reacts where they don't care or whatnot, then they'll keep him. It all comes down to the fucking dollars and cents.
Sure. And guess what? I mean, let's not, paint the NFL as like this big racist entity because they gave Michael Vick another fucking chance. Okay? This guy killed dogs and was in prison for a year and a half. And they brought him back with open arms, and then now he's all over the TV talking about the NFL. So give me a break.
Dude, there's plenty of guys. Ray Lewis had another chance.
I mean, come on.
The dude that played for the Eagles that fucking killed somebody in drunk driving. What was his name? Yeah, but Dante Stallworth had this. He killed someone drunk driving. That got swept under the rug. This was all before social media. This was all before videos and things like that. Because the NFL was more concerned about what the fan base thought because that affected the money.
Yeah,
if the money wasn't affected, then you get a million chances.
Yeah, I'm just done painting the NFL as like this big racist entity that doesn't want African American players to succeed and all that shit. Kaepernick chose the road he chose because he knew he can make more money doing what he's doing. That's my take. I'm sorry, he doesn't want to play football.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that, but I'm just saying he chose the road he chose, and he had to know there was going to be some pushback on that.
Tim Tebow is a winner. Tim Tebow is a hell of a human being, and Tim Tebow is a fucking excellent athlete. I don't want anybody to say that he's a subpar or just average athlete. That's a fucking joke, okay? That's why he's getting a shot. Urban Meyer knows him. Urban Meyer loves him. He's giving him a shot. The fucking guy, 90% of the chance that he doesn't even make the fucking team. But, okay, it's May 13th. Let's stop sucking each other's dicks just yet, okay? Hold the phone on this whole Tim Tebow thing. Let's talk about this in September if he's on the fucking team. But let's not make a guy who's maybe going to be an H-back or the second tight end on the team or the third or fourth string quarterback the biggest news on earth, and that it's white privilege, and it should have been Colin Kaepernick. Give me a goddamn break. Now, let's go into a take.
Hold on. Before we move on from this, let me ask you, what do you think Urban's thought process was bringing him in? Just the fact that he can help the team? Or like Dr. Tomas made the comment that it does bring a level of distraction, but it could be a good distraction because you're taking the pressure off Trevor Lawrence, who's considered to be the next Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning figure in the NFL.
People have come up with multiple things. Yeah, does it take pressure off Lawrence? People are thinking that's good, but people say that's bad. You want all the pressure on Lawrence. I don't know about that. I think
I don't know why you want all the pressure on anybody. Like, that doesn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's not the pressure, maybe the eyes.
I agree with Tommy. It would make more sense to take the pressure off him.
Yeah, but it's Jacksonville. They need fucking asses in the seats. I can understand why they bring Tebow in.
That's another aspect real quick, money-wise. He's fucking loved in Jacksonville. Florida's his state, man.
Yes,
he might start selling out tickets more than Trevor Lawrence, just the fact that he's there if he actually plays.
If he plays or if he even makes the fucking team, yes. But did Urban Meyer bring him in maybe to become a coach? You know, he gets cut in camp.
That's what they're saying.
They're all saying that shit. I don't know about that. I think, honestly, it's Tim Tebow, who's a 34-year-old athlete who's in great fucking shape, just came off of almost making the New York Mets roster after not playing baseball for 11 years. Come on.
He wasn't going to make the roster.
I'm just saying, I mean, this guy is doing shit that people dream of. People dream of, and these people are shitting on him for doing it. And I've had enough of it, okay? Is he the greatest quarterback in the world? Of course not. Was he one of the most polarizing fucking college football players of all time? Absolutely, okay? But this guy is one thing, and he's a fantastic fucking athlete that's doing shit that people only jerk off to. And he's doing it in real life, and these people are trying to tear him down because why? Because he's white, because he doesn't get in trouble, because Colin Kaepernick's still on the fucking sidelines making money, making books and sneakers. Give me a fucking break, okay? Let's get off this horse shit because I'm getting fired up. Let's get to a take I had before this Tebow news came out. I wanted to talk about why Trevor Lawrence was the perfect fit for the Jacksonville Jaguars. I believe that the reason why the New York Jets would have drafted Zach Wilson is the opposite reason why Trevor Lawrence is perfect for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's a family guy. He's already married. It's Jacksonville. It's small town USA. They're one of the smallest NFL teams. No fucking eyeballs. No fucking New York Post. No New York Daily News down your fucking throat. He's a family guy. He's already married. He was born in Tennessee. He played high school in Georgia. And he played college in South Carolina. To me, the big city, the big lights of New York City would have been hell on earth for this fucking guy. And I really believe...
You think it's a better fit for the Mormon?
I really believe that JD, Joey Douglas himself, knew that. And that's another reason why he loves Zach Wilson, because Zach Wilson couldn't wait. The first thing he said at the draft was, I can't wait to get to New York City because I've been dying for the past fucking whatever it was, 3 months. He wants to be in New York. He wants to be the savior. He wants to be like the beacon of light with his Jonathan Taylor Thomas face. He will be better for New York than Trevor Lawrence would have been. Trevor Lawrence is going to be great in Jacksonville.
Rocco, I've given you a nice 3 weeks out of this, and I can't hold back anymore. You're out of your fucking tits.
Yes.
You're out of your mind. Listen to me. Any team that was picking number one this past year was taking Trevor Lawrence. Outside of maybe Kansas City, literally, I believe the Green Bay Packers would have taken Trevor Lawrence. I believe Seattle Seahawks would have taken Trevor Lawrence. Outside of the Kansas City, and I don't know, maybe the Buccaneers. Maybe the Buccaneers would have traded out because Tom Brady would have been like, oh, nobody. Other than that, who wasn't taking Trevor Lawrence?
Scotty.
Nobody. Everyone was taking Trevor Lawrence.
Scotty, I agree with you, and I'm going to answer your question.
Including the Jets.
The
Jets
only team that wouldn't have taken him would have been the New York Jets. Joe Douglas is not the GM of fucking Tampa Bay. Joe Douglas ain't the GM of Green Bay. Joe Douglas fell in love with Zach Wilson. That's why they won a game. Of course, you can't not take Trevor Lawrence number one. They didn't want to be number one. They wanted Zach Wilson. But again, I really do believe that if they were number one, I really do believe it's like that movie Draft Day, like I told you. I think they would have dug deep into every fucking ounce of the life of Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, and they would have found out that Trevor Lawrence was not a New York type of kid. They would have taken Zach Wilson number one. I'm telling you now.
Rock, let me ask you something real quick. If I told you a guy out of Beaver Falls, Pennsylvania, who then was the quarterback of Alabama, was not a fit for a New York guy, what would you say? Probably, yeah.
I know who's from Beaver Falls. I understand.
Yeah.
He's the fucking ultimate man.
He's fucking Broadway Joe.
Of course. But again, that's 87 years ago. I just want to tell you, Broadway Joe is the fucking man, and he still is. But and that's a perfect segue. Thank you, Scotty, because you did say something, last episode. You were looking good. You had the fucking beautiful tan. And again, I'm hoping you're using your aloe vera. So you had a bone to pick with me. You were fucking giving me and Dr. Tomas like amazing dap for what we did, in episode 16.
You guys did great
for when you were gone. And last episode 17, you said something about maybe checking me a little bit, like Scott Stevens would fucking check Eric Lindros into the fucking boards.
Oh, when the Devils were good.
Man. And
good old days.
You said that the Alabama quarterbacks had a couple winners, and I realized that you were right because I knew at least of two of them. I did not realize that one of them, that was 160 years ago with the Ford Model T. but you're exactly right. I'm going to sit here right now and say that Rocco B is incorrect. Rocco B is wrong. The University of Alabama has had...
I know where this is going. I can smell the sarcasm from fucking across the country.
Alabama has had 3 quarterbacks that have really panned out in the NFL. They've won Super Bowls. They're fantastic guys. Kenny Stabler, 1968. Kenny the Snake. Your boy, Broadway Joe, 1965. And Bart Starr, Super Bowl I and II winner, 1956. Those are the 3 Alabama quarterbacks that have made it in the NFL. This is going to lead me into the titillating. Oh, yes, I said the return of the titillating top 5 Alabama quarterbacks that have busted out so badly within the past 40 years. So we go number 1, Scotty.
Hang on. Before you go any further, let me just interject here for a second.
Mm-hmm.
As Craig would say, your tits are leaking over here because, which was a classic line.
Craig Leday, I want a fucking question, please. Let's get a question in here. I know you're opinionated, Giants fan. You got to bring a question to the show. We want to get you on.
I got to say, I understand where you're going to go with this because in the Saban era, I get it, and I get it's been a long time. But you're talking about 3 of like cornerstone guys, or at least 2 cornerstone guys to the entire beginning of the NFL, the entire establishment, the foundation of this entire league. It was literally Bart Starr, Joe Namath, and then Kenny Stabler helped it kind of continue to move along.
Oh, yeah. Back in the NFL, when it first started, I just remember a guy named Bart Starr.
It's like naming presidents, and we're just going to fucking leave out Washington and Lincoln and fucking, I don't know. We're just going to leave out like the founding fathers.
No, you're right.
Big deal.
You're right. But when we're talking about if someone is drafting a guy from a school that it hasn't happened in 50-plus years.
Fair.
I'd like to mention that. Number 1, we'll go back to one of your dad's favorites from your New York Jets. Number 1 was Richard Todd. He was drafted in 1976, first round, 6th overall.
Richard Todd wasn't that bad.
Bigger bust than people think. He only had a winning record for the first time in 1981, and that really was not him. It was the fucking New York Sack Exchange, if we all remember those guys. Big bust. You came out of University of Alabama. They took him, and the Jets are in the position they're in a lot of times after that because of drafting quarterbacks like that. Number 2, Jay Barker, who won the 1992 national championship with the University of Alabama, stayed there for a couple more seasons. It was drafted in the 1995 draft in the 5th round. Guy never saw a snap in the pros. He was out of the league in a year. Number 3, Greg McElroy, another New York Jet.
Oh, what a terrible fucking pick that was.
2010 national champion. He was drafted in the 7th round in 2011 by the New York Football Jets.
I don't like anything about this guy, by the way. And he's got his own show, which has been, like, I guess, somewhat successful. I don't even like him on TV. I don't know how this guy got so popular. I mean, I get it. He won a championship, but, like, the guy sucked in Alabama. Well, I can't say he sucked in Alabama. He won a championship, but he was such a game manager. And he was one of the worst quarterbacks I've ever seen in the pros.
It's terrible. He has the second highest Wonderlic score, so he's a smart guy. Ryan Fitzpatrick has the record, the highest Wonderlic, but he's the second.
Yeah.
Tell me if this sounds familiar. He was praised at the Combine for his work ethic and his accuracy, his ability to move in the pocket and recognize defensive formations and able to adjust. However, scouts had serious concerns about his arm strength. Can you tell me who that reminds me of? Mac Jones. Amazing that's just one of those things that he just doesn't pan out. Interesting. Number 4, the cockiest player on this list, A.J. McCarron. He is a 2-time national champion.
I thought he could sneak. I thought he could be sneaky and actually turn out to be okay, and I was wrong.
Ooh, drafted in the 5th round. I think the whole, thing with the whole catching his girlfriend on the sideline and everyone saying that, she's Miss America and blah, 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 went to his head. And he ended up losing his last 2 games at Alabama. And
she broke up with him.
And she broke up with him, but they're now,
I have no idea.
Now they're married with 2 kids. But he was, if everybody remembered, sitting on the bench. That was the kick 6 game against Auburn. He sat on the bench and cried his eyes out. He's still a backup. He just signed with Atlanta.
What are you saying? He should be out of the league because he cried? Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is
the
I
entire
just can't.
Dallas. Michael Irving should never step foot on the field if that's the case.
There's no crying. Now, I'm telling you, like I said, I'm just shocked. It's like the Matt Barkley syndrome. It's like, how the fuck are these guys in the league? And number 5, Jake Coker.
That was another guy I thought could maybe be like a sneaky guy. Wasn't he drafted by the Patriots or something?
He didn't get drafted, and he signed with the Arizona Cardinals in the offseason.
Okay, I was wrong there.
And he never saw a snap. He retired in training camp with a knee injury. That year was when Derrick Henry won the Heisman. When Derrick Henry won the Heisman, and he had 7 of the top 73 guys drafted on that team, plus O.J. Howard, who was setting records in the championship game. He retired before ever seeing the field in September. So, to me, what Bama quarterbacks are, Trent Dilfer, Brad Johnson, Joe Flacco of college football. These guys make enough throws when they need to have their teams that are fucking loaded all over the place win games. Tua's a shocker.
That's kind of been Saban's mentality, though.
But Tua's the shocker.
He spent more of his shit on recruiting, like offensive, defensive line,
yes,
and some playmakers, and he's always kind of gone for more of a mediocre, smarter game managing quarterback.
But we're talking about where they translate to the NFL.
Actually, Jalen Hurts was a little different for him. I think he's gotten more of these mobile quarterbacks, and Jalen Hurts was terrible though. I feel like in Alabama, even though I loved it when he came in for Tua that second time.
Mm-hmm.
I thought Jalen Hurts did much better in Oklahoma, but Tua looked awesome in Alabama.
Tua was
unreal.
The outlier, and of course the ultra athletic and ultra mobile Mac Jones, but Tua was, to me, the outlier of this whole thing. I thought Tua really had a chance, and I was high on Tua coming out. I think Tua is not going to translate to the NFL as well. I think he's going to bust out. Mac Jones is plenty to be seen with Mac Jones, but history does not serve him right. So let's just put a bookmark in the chapter of the Bama quarterbacks, please, Scotty. If you want to talk about Ohio State quarterbacks, I will as well. If you want to bring one up from 1912,
can I also mention something?
Sure.
This gives more validity to me in the past, telling you that it gives me more validity in the past, telling you that these, especially quarterbacks that come from smaller schools or schools that are like the mid. I think the mid is the ideal, like the Wisconsin and stuff, because they're still seeing the competition, but overall, they're not going to have as much talent around them as an Alabama, a Clemson, an LSU, some of these other schools. Those quarterbacks always pan out the best because they're showing more. If they're putting someone on the map, it's because they actually did a fucking fantastic job. I mean, I know you were loving Stanford, but Stanford wasn't they weren't a Goliath in the
No,
college
no.
world when Luck came out. RG3 Baylor wasn't a Goliath. Like they were. He rose those schools up, which gives me more hope at a guy who brought up like a BYU or even Trey Lance or Trask. Trask is the perfect because Trask saw some competition, but it's like guys like that. That's why to me they stand out more than the Ohio State, Alabama, LSU. And I'm not saying it can't happen. Like Joe Burrow looks like he's the real deal to me. I'm not saying it can't happen, but it really kind of shows that some of these smaller schools that have a little less talent around them, if the quarterback's still putting that school on the map, they could be a little bit more of a surefire in the NFL.
Well, let's have some fun real quick. Let's just go over who we think are the great quarterbacks in the league. I don't want to go with the starting quarterbacks because we're not talking about 32 guys. We're talking about the upper echelon of the league.
I'll tell you right now. Russell Wilson.
Yeah, where'd he go?
Wisconsin.
Thank you.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, where'd he go?
Cal, I believe.
Yep. And so far it pans out. Go ahead.
Here's an outlier, in my opinion, Deshaun Watson, Clemson.
Okay. What about Brady?
Tom Brady, Michigan.
Okay. That works out.
Michigan's perfect example. Who else we got? Off the top of my head, I'm trying to think here.
What about Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, Mahomes.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech. I knew it was Texas something.
Okay. What about Josh Allen?
Josh Allen. He's another one. Where did he go to school? Do I forget?
Wyoming.
Oh, that's right. Wyoming.
And what about Lamar Jackson?
Louisville.
Okay. And what about Jared Goff?
He went to Cal.
Just like Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers.
What about Matt Ryan?
I have no idea where Matt Ryan went.
Matt Ryan went to Boston College. This is your best argument. This is your best.
Look at that right there. Every guy except for Watson. And,
Watson. I'll give you a couple. Watson from Clemson with the fucking stud team. Burrow from LSU with a fucking stud team.
Assuming he continues.
Stafford, who had a stud team at Georgia. Okay, he's another one that played with a shit ton of talent. And we're forgetting about fucking Dak Prescott from Mississippi State, but
Dak is another one.
So it's another one, right?
Hey, here's a future one. If Herbert turns out to be a stud, Oregon.
This is your best one so far, in my opinion. You're right. I mean, I don't think you should be. There's levels. I don't think Wentz is an outlier, but he ain't gonna make it. Wentz and Lance from 1AA. Then you got players like a Daniel Jones from Duke or a Derek Carr from Fresno State or a Jimmy G from fucking Eastern Illinois. Oh, and then we forgot one guy. We forgot Ben Roethlisberger.
I don't know where he went.
He's the outlier. He went to Miami of Ohio. He's kind of the one that went to the smaller school.
Yeah.
Really came up without a shit ton of talent around him. But again, he wasn't really playing anybody.
Where did Breeze go?
Breeze went to Purdue. So
that's another example.
So you are on with this
keeps going. And here's the other thing is a lot of older athletes or quarterbacks that were studs, a lot of them came from the bigger schools. That also could be the fact that because of social media and whatnot and the college program wasn't as massive and that wasn't as big as it is now. So if you were an athlete, you only had a choice to go to a few schools. Like you went to the Notre Dame, you went to the Alabama, you went to a couple of the schools that were the
or
big
your hometown
schools.
Yeah.
Or your hometown school because it wasn't as known.
Yeah.
Now, in the last 20, 25 years, you get guys that it's more known. College football is a lot bigger, all different other opportunities, and you get to see, you get opportunities to move places and go do this and that. It really does pan out. A lot of these middle-of-the-road schools have the best quarterbacks, or at least the most consistently
successful,
better starters, successful quarterbacks. Yeah, that's good. That's a good way to say it.
No, you're right, and I will give it to you. I mean, I will give it to you. The research pans out on your argument because if you go through the league and say, okay, where are most busts and where are most successes, the busts are usually with the bigger schools or the schools that are super tiny that there must have been a reason why that player went to that super small school.
Even if you go a little bit back, I mean, Peyton Manning was Tennessee. Eli Manning was Ole Miss.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, you're absolutely right. And, of course, there's outliers like Tony Romo, undrafted out of Eastern Illinois, and a couple other guys that are fucking where'd they come from. But at the same time, you are, I think, dead on balls here with you got to be a middle-of-the-road fucking team and then play middle-of-the-road to even almost better competition, and that's how you see what a guy's made of. I love it. I love it. I want to break down real quick some breaking news that happened over the past week or so that we haven't gotten to, and then we're going to get into the fucking schedule release, baby, and we're going to get into week 1 and what everybody should be looking forward to, and also we're going to get some Vegas odds in there, baby.
I got some spreads, baby. I got some spreads. I already made some early picks, but we'll go from there.
I can't wait. But couple big moves. The Colts, remember as we said, throughout the whole draft process, one of their big needs was finding a left tackle. Well, they think they did. They brought in Eric Fisher, the ex-Kansas City Chiefs starting left tackle who got hurt right before the Super Bowl. They're bringing him in for a 1-year deal. See if that Achilles heals up and he can protect Wentz's blind side. And if he can play like he's been playing the past couple years, Indy is going to be scary.
Yeah, I like it, and I know you're not a big Wentz fan, but I think Wentz is actually going to shock some people this year. I think as long as he gets his head right, I think he's got the ability to be something special in Indianapolis.
I told you he's got to be healthy, and this is the best spot for him to do it, so I wouldn't be shocked if he stays healthy, if he can play. The big shock will be if he is healthy and he proves to us that he can't play.
Oh, if he has a terrible year this year, I think he's done in the NFL.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. With Dr. Tomas's Philadelphia Eagles scooped up Kerryon Johnson off the waiver wire from Detroit, and they throw him into this crowded running back room in Philly. I think Kerryon Johnson has got a little bit left in the tank, but I think this is a little bit of a stretch in the offseason that people are getting all excited about.
So I talked to Dr. Tomas about this, and I'm very, very confused on this. So I like Kerryon Johnson. I really do. I don't think he's done like you think he's done. But did you seen this Eagles running back? They got like 5 starting running backs.
No, it's unreal.
I don't know what to think of it. You know what I mean? It's like
they got bits and pieces. They got, if they got Miles Sanders is legit if he stays healthy and they play him all the time. He's their number 1 guy. Boston Scott is like Darren Sproles 3.0. He's not going to, be your guy that's on the field for more than 30% of the time. I like the kid Jordan Howard. I think he's on the way out. And they drafted a couple running backs. So I don't know.
And then Tommy was talking huge about Kenneth Gainswell. Apparently, he went to the same school as Gibson, Antonio Gibson.
Yeah, Memphis.
That's his name,
yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Gibson, who's a stud right now, I think, for Washington.
Yep.
He apparently, Tommy was telling me that Gibson played more slot because he couldn't beat out Gainswell.
No, the kid, that's the kid who's going to make the noise. Yeah.
So if that's the case, you're talking 4 or 5 potential studs. And honestly, I know he gets hurt, but I'm going to say this right now. I don't think it's said enough. Miles Sanders is a beast. He is probably the best player on that team outside of, we'll see what Devontae Smith is, and I really like Slay, but he's one of the best players on that team.
No, I agree.
He's a stud.
I agree. He's got to stay on the field though. And Philly's going to be have a nice running back room there. But again, they have to use them correctly.
Here's my quick question: does that mean one of them's out? Does that mean somebody's gone?
Yeah, I don't think Kerryon Johnson makes the team. I really don't. I really think that I don't understand why this is such a big deal. I think that there's a reason why they drafted 2 running backs, and you're not getting rid of Boston Scott, and you're sure as hell not getting rid of Miles Sanders. So
I heard the other team that put a claim in for him too was the Miami Dolphins.
Yep.
So
yeah,
if he gets cut, we'll see if he ends up in South Beach.
You're exactly right. I can see him in South Beach this year. Another one. Here we go. The fucking Green Bay Packers just can't stay out of the fucking news. They want to fucking take all the headlines, and of course they're going to sign a quarterback. Stud Muffin Blake Bortles. Yikes. That's their answer for if Aaron Rodgers doesn't come back. They want to have Blake Bortles and Jordan Love. Good fucking luck. Whew.
I gotta assume if Aaron's not there, that they're going to get a quarterback and replace him. I got to assume that.
Well, you got to assume. Because I think they all but said that Love ain't ready. So those are a couple signings. And we have another thing, as Scotty knows, my love for Kobe Bryant is ridiculous, and it's still going. And when I hear about
it's just annoying. This guy hates the NBA, but he still loves Kobe. I don't get it.
Well, because he was the main reason why I used to love the NBA, and he was a big reason for how he was treated and why I hate the fucking NBA now. But J.C. Horn was coming out and saying that he's going to choose the number 8 so he can wear that for Kobe Bryant. And Scotty G, I know you have a little bit of a different take from that.
I'm not a Kobe lover. Let's just say that. Rest in peace. I'm sorry for the whole situation. Like that was a fucking terrible way to go out. Kobe is a legend. You can't write the NBA history without him. But This guy ain't picking it for fucking Kobe. He got picked 8th. Why can't we just say that? He was the 8th drafted player. Why can't we say he was picked 8th and that's why he took the 8th jersey? He's definitely picking it for Kobe. What about 24? You want to just be 24?
Yeah. Well, I'm not arguing with you. I just knew we were thinking differently there. But I would say that. But that's a nice thing wearing 8 for Kobe. I know Slay did it last year. Wearing 24 for him as well with Philly. So that's nice to hear that he's still going on. But
hang on real quick. Let me just cross off a name that I had for a jersey for you real quick.
Slay? I love that.
All right.
Okay.
That's one down. Christ.
I got a problem. Now, let's get into week 1 of the 2021 season. We got the schedule in front of us, Scotty. And, man, I know you're excited because you got the spreads. I pulled them up. I pulled up the over-unders, too. And we are going to go through what we think are the best games. And let's try to pick real quick. Let's keep it in speed mode. Let's try to pick what we think these spreads are and how they're going to change from May until September. But, Scotty,
I can't tell you what I think how it's going to change, but I can go through. I'm going to go. What's what I'm going to do? I'm going to go through each game pretty quickly. Right. I'm going to tell you the matchup, the spread. I'm going to tell you what I think's going to happen, and then I'll note the big ones.
Okay.
All right. Mm-hmm. Thursday night we got the whole season kicking off. It's the your boys versus the Bucks in Tampa. The Bucks are favored. They're 6.5. I got the Bucks taking that all day, and they're covered. What do you think?
Okay. Love the fact that the NFL put the Cowboys against the defending Super Bowl champions on the Thursday night. I always love when the Cowboys are singled out. And they're also singled out on the fucking road against Tom Brady. Great.
Well, it's not like Dak's coming off injury or anything.
No, it's not like, the Cowboys
jump right back into it.
Didn't need a game or two to warm up. But, no, I would say that I think you're right. If I'm betting with my head, I'd have to take Tampa Bay minus 6.5. But don't be shocked if these Cowboys shock you on the defensive side of the ball, and they throw some different shit at Brady. But I would take Tampa Bay.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. That's not happening. Mm-hmm. Philly versus the Falcons in Atlanta. The Falcons are favored by 3.5. I gotta be honest with you, man. I'm taking Philly all day with this. I got Philly to win that one.
Philly and the Falcons. You like Jalen Hurts versus Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts?
I think Matt Ryan and Kyle Pitts, and I think that offense is going to be good. I think they're going to be a fun team to watch. I just don't think out of the gates they're going to be like super hot. And I got a feeling Julio's going to get dealt. So if Julio's gone, that's one less dude. Okay.
I'm taking Atlanta. I'll take Atlanta at home. I think Atlanta's going to put a bunch of points up, and I don't think Eagles have the secondary to keep up.
Pittsburgh versus Buffalo in Buffalo. Buffalo's favored by 6.5. I hate Buffalo, but I got to take them here and to cover
6.5. Buffalo,
yeah, win by a touchdown
at Buffalo against the Steelers, and they're going to be. I think the Steelers are going to be really, with Najee and oh boy. Okay, no, I'm going to go close game there. I like Buffalo to win, but I'll take the Steelers plus 6.5.
Okay. Then we got Jets versus Panthers. This is the first notable game because we got Sammy D coming back to, I guess the Jets are going to Sam's house, his new house now. So it's Sam Darnold versus old team, though. And I got mixed feelings on this. Part of me is like, is Darnold going to light us up and then make us regret our decision? And the other part is, what if he comes out and throws like 3 picks? I don't know. But I got the Panthers winning, but I don't have them covering. The Panthers are favored by 4.5. I think Jets keep it close. And Robert Saleh starts the year off with a loss, but gives the fan base and the team hope by showing that we ain't no pushovers, we ain't no scrubs. I think we lose in a close one by like a field goal.
The Jets win the game outright. That's what I'm going to say. I'm going to say they come in.
You think Sam Darnold looks like shit coming out of the
Sam Darnold is flustered by Saleh's defense and the new regime that they're going to bring in there. I think Zach Wilson.
Seeing ghosts?
Zach Wilson will do enough to make the Jets win their first game in the new regime.
And how do you know Zach Wilson's going to get the starting job?
I really believe he's going to earn it. Okay? I think he's going to earn the job.
Oh, God. Vikings versus Bengals. I'm just saying, I circled this about 17 times on the page. I was like literally about to rip a hole through the paper because this has got money written all over it. This, to me, is like one of the locks of the week.
Okay.
Vikings versus Bengals. The Vikings are favored by 2.5. Are you kidding me? Vikings, I think, are going to smoke the Bengals.
Okay.
So I'm taking Vikings to win and to cover that motherfucker.
Just how I just talked about the Jets on the road, I think not only do the Bengals cover, the Bengals win this game outright. I think the Bengals come out with a bang. I think the Bengals come out with a bang. The Bengals are 3-point dogs at home against a Kirk Cousins that doesn't like to travel well. I'm taking the Bengals to win the game straight up.
No way. Niners versus Lions. Niners are favored by 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take the Niners on that. Lions are probably going to be a shit show to start the year. I don't think they're going to be as bad as in previous years. I think they're going to start showing some signs of progression, but I just don't think they're going to come out of the gates hot. I think it's going to be a little while. It's going to be like week 8 or 9. You're going to be like, oh, Lions don't look like a terrible, terrible, terrible team, but they're still going to be probably like a top 10 pick, a top 5 pick in the draft.
I like Detroit. I think I'm not gonna say that they're gonna win the game, but I will definitely take them underneath.
You're saying not to cover? Okay,
yeah.
that's fair.
Yep.
Because this is basically saying by 10.
Yep.
Or I guess you could say 8 if they get a.
I'll take the Lions at home with the 7.5.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Jags versus Houston. They got the Jags favored by 1.5. And that's another one I circled immediately because I got Jags winning, and I think they blow out Houston. Houston's a fucking train wreck.
I completely agree. The Jags will win by 3 touchdowns.
Seattle versus the Colts. The Colts are favored by 2.5. I got the Colts winning and covering. That's a harder one. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's a tough one. Seattle's coming across the country to play an early game that's usually not good for them. I don't like what they did in the offseason so far, so I'll take the Colts. No. I'll take the Colts -3.
No, and honestly, last year, every time I was watching a Seattle game, anytime they played a team that had a solid defense or at least a front like 7 or D-line, Russell Wilson couldn't stay off his back. So to me, I think that's going to be trouble for them. They didn't fix that offensive line enough for me.
Yeah, and I don't like them traveling across country.
Cards versus Tennessee. Tennessee's a 2.5-point favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I got the Cards winning.
This is the show me game. It's another. We got 2 more. The 2 games that you have not touched on yet at 1 o'clock are the 2 show me games to me. Cardinals at Titans. Titans 2.5-point favorites at home against Arizona, traveling again across the country for an early game. What are they going to be without Arthur Smith? What are they going to be without Jonnu Smith? I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see.
The Oldenals are, have loaded up their team in the draft and in free agency. I lean here towards Arizona.
Yeah, me too. The next one, I wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't touch this game if my life depended on it.
It's a tough one.
I got Chargers versus the Washington football team in Washington, D.C., and the Chargers are favored by 1.5. I personally have Washington winning. I don't think they're better. I don't think they're a better team than the Chargers. I just think out of the gate, that defense is probably going to be one of the top 3 defenses in the league, and I think it's going to be a lot for Herbert to step off out of his first offseason to come at that. I think it's going to be a close game, but I think Washington wins it.
Wow. Okay. Well, you got the whole thing again. You got L.A. traveling a whole way across the country, Washington, D.C., for a Sunday game early, 1 o'clock Eastern. But I will say Washington's defense will be nasty, but they got fucking Justin Herbert. They have a nasty defense themselves. They'll make Fitzpatrick turn the ball over a couple times. They'll do enough to win a close game. I like the Chargers.
Here's my past experience, too, of watching the NFL football seasons. When there's no pressure, Fitzpatrick looks like one of the best quarterbacks you've ever seen.
Yep.
And I feel like the first 5-6 weeks of every season, he drops like 400 or 500 yards a fucking game somehow.
He does.
Some way.
No, you're exactly right.
So he's going to come out hot, and I think Herbert's probably going to come out a little slow, being sophomore slump. Probably.
Oh, boy, sophomore slumpy. Okay, well, we'll see.
I think he's still going to play well. I believe in Herbert. I just don't know if he's going to ball like he did last year. I think he's going to I think they're going to win more games, and his stats are going to be slightly less than last year.
Yeah, this is another one that's shown me. Is L.A. for real, and is Washington for real? So we'll see.
The Brownies at the Chiefs.
Okay.
Chiefs are favored by 5.5. You ready for this?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I got the Brownies.
I'd take the Brownies myself as well. I think they got the secret sauce on how to keep Mahomes off the field. They got better in the offseason, as we've all talked about. I almost think this could be an upset. I think the Brownies win the game.
That's what I'm saying. I got the Brownies to win.
Oh, you got the Brownies to win the game as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, they would have to cover that. I guess they wouldn't have to cover 5.5. But what I'm saying is I got Brownies to win.
All right. I'm with you.
Dolphins versus New England. New England is a 2.5-point favorite. I got Dolphins winning.
I don't like this game just because this is the game that you
I
always
don't
see.
either, but Cam Newton's probably going to start.
Yeah, you'd always like to see, Brady versus the Dolphins because usually Miami was his kryptonite. I don't like this game. I don't want to watch this game. Of course I will, but I wouldn't want to. This is tough. If Miami's for real, they win this game. If Miami's for real, they win this game. I don't believe.
No,
in Cam Newton.
I don't think that makes them for real because I think the season, the first 3-4 games, is probably going to be Cam Newton, and I think Cam Newton's done.
Yeah,
in my
I'll
opinion.
take the Dolphins.
And the Dolphins got a great defense.
Yeah.
And I think Tua is going to do enough to not lose the game. So
yeah, I'll take even though the Patriots got a shit ton better in the offseason, I don't believe in Cam Newton.
The Dolphins also got 2 burners now, so it's going to take the top off the defense.
I'm
you got
done.
Fuller on one side and Waddle on the other side.
I'm done with New England until they go off Cam, so I'll take Miami.
Now this game's very interesting to me. So Packers versus New Orleans.
Yep.
New Orleans is home, so usually the home team's favored by 3.
Yep.
So anything less than that obviously is somewhat favoring the other team, but New Orleans is favored by 2.5. So that's meaning they're only favoring the Packers by half point, which is very alarming to me because I know a lot of people are looking at this. I know the Packers have like 5 primetime games, and they're saying, oh, the NFL knows Aaron Rodgers is going to still be on the Packers. That's why they did that. Wise guys don't seem to think that. How the fuck are they favored over the Packers?
Absolutely, yeah. I think the NFL's, just saying we're going to win either way because even if Don Majkowski was still the fucking Green Bay Packers quarterback, you're going to watch the game. So I think I don't like either of these teams, especially if Rodgers is not with Green Bay. But if Rodgers is with Green Bay, it's moot. It's fucking Packers all the way.
Moot?
It's a moot point.
Okay.
It's a moot
What's
point
a moot?
if it's a non-point, non-issue. If Rodgers is on the field, I'll guarantee you at this point, Scotty, you see this line right now? I'd say
This will probably change.
September 1st, this will be Packers by 4.5 if Rodgers is there. So let's I don't want to touch this one because I don't like the Saints anyway. But let's see what happens with Rodgers before we touch
This is
that
a good one to bet on early then. If
Yeah.
you think Rodgers is staying.
Yep. If you think Rodgers is staying, you got to take it right now. But you better get some inside info because that guy has he's not leaking anything to anybody. He's a weirdo, man. Just for us now, is if we're having fun. If it's Packers at Saints, with Saints having Jameis Winston at quarterback, at home by 2.5 or 3 points against Green Bay, that would have either Jordan Love or Blake Bortles or some other fucking guy, I'd have to go with Sean Payton and the Saints.
Yeah, I got the Saints too.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to be the quarterback. I can almost even see Rodgers coming out and being a little disgruntled, not having his best game if he is on the team. And I can see Winston, like you said, being the starting quarterback and like reminding everyone why he was the number 1 pick back in the day.
You're exactly right. Let's go to this show of a game.
Which one are you looking at? The
Fucking
Broncos,
Denver
Giants?
and the Giants.
That's going to be an interesting game, actually. It could be even more interesting if Aaron Rodgers is on the team. Broncos are favored by 1.5.
Yep.
I got Giants winning. I'm high on the Giants this year.
I'm higher on the Giants than I am at Drew Lock, that's for sure. If that's the case, I take the home dog. If it's Drew Lock versus Daniel Jones and the New Age Giants in Giants Stadium, I'll take the Giants.
Bears versus Rams.
It's a good Sunday night game.
Rams are favored by 7.5. Or sorry, 7. They're favored by 7. I got Rams winning that and covered.
You think it's Dalton or Fields? What do you think?
I think it starts with Dalton.
Okay, if that's the case,
why.
I'll take the Rams by 20.
What if you think if it's Fields? I could see Fields maybe
closer.
pulling a win out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know.
I could see Rams winning either way, but I think you're right. I think if Fields plays, the Bears will cover. But I think if Dalton plays, I think Rams murder him.
Absolutely. So let's go with that caveat. If Dalton plays, then the Rams by 3 touchdowns, and if Fields plays, then let's revisit.
I don't want to say 3 touchdowns, but
let's revisit it. But yeah, I'd take the Rams.
And then I got the Monday night game is Baltimore versus the Las Vegas Raiders.
First game, baby. First game for Vegas.
I didn't even think about it. I had, because Baltimore's favored by 5.5. I had Baltimore winning. I might even want to rethink that because the NFL loves opening up new stadiums with a bang, and these guys are going to be jacked to play. But I still, right now, I'm going to say Baltimore wins that game.
Here's the threshold.
Oh, no. Here's my thing. I got Baltimore winning and not covering, so the Raiders covering.
Yeah, I would say the threshold's 2.5 for me. I would not take.
Me too.
I would not take Ravens more than 2.5.
Yeah, I think Raiders probably lose by like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I can see Justin Tucker hitting a fucking 65-yard field goal to win the game, but I would not rely on the Raiders to be the fucking feel-good story of the league this year.
You're right. And honestly, you're right.
Yeah, so I'll take the Ravens anything more than or anything less than 2.5. All right, so that was it, man. Week 1, my best games that I came up with that I'm really looking forward to. Of course, I'm looking forward to the boys in Tampa Bay as the opening game of the year. Of course, I'm looking forward to Darnold versus the fucking Jets. That's going to be amazing. Cleveland and KC is a fucking stud muffin of a game.
That might be the game of the week.
And I really want to see the Seattle and Indy game. I really want to see the way that Wilson and Wentz go at each other, and I want to see if Indy's for real. And the last one is I really want to see, like I told you, it's the prove it game between the Chargers and Washington. I want to see if there's
that's going to be a hell of a
sophomore
game too.
slump, so.
I like all those games. I'm going to watch all those games. I'm going to watch all these fucking games. But I love those games. But the other game I'm actually interested in. It's going to be kind of a shit show, but I'm actually interested in seeing what Trevor Lawrence looks like. Honestly.
Yeah, and you know me, I'm the big Bengals supporter this year. I want to see Minnesota and Cincinnati. This is the one that Joe Burrow says, "Hey, I got my guys now. I'm healthy. Let's fucking go." Oh my God, we can't wait. We're 4 months away. We're 4 months away from today, from being the first Sunday of the season. We got Thursday night starting off with Dallas and Tampa Bay, but that first Sunday is going to be 4 months away from today, and we are fucking excited. But I thought we did great today, Scotty. I thought we had some fun. And
hey, Rock, before we go, I got one thing for you.
Okay.
A little thing I gotta test you on. So in the past we've done this jersey thing where you know the jersey number. I give you a player, you tell me.
Oh, you're giving me some more numbers.
I got to give you some more. And I told you earlier I had a list, and I know you probably forgot, and then somehow you already called out Darius Slay. I don't even know how the fuck you pulled that out of your ass. But let me just give you some names, just see if I can stump you, because I don't think there's any way you're getting these names. Like
I want to be stumped.
Some of these players I forgot that were even played football. I mean, that's not true, but you know what I mean. They're guys you don't think of.
Okay.
All right? First off, I'm going to start off with my Jets, right? Mekhi Becton. What do you got? Right out of the gate, you're going to be stumped.
Mekhi Becton.
Oh, man, I'm good.
Hold on. Is he 71?
Nope. He's 77, my
77.
friend. Right out of the fucking gate.
Okay.
All right, ready? Here we go. Here we go. The bus, Jerome Bettis.
36.
Yep, that's an easy one. Eric Dickerson.
29.
That's correct. How about another one that's playing right now that you probably aren't going to know or think of? Russell Gage.
Russell Gage for Atlanta. No, is he 83?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Ready?
Mm-hmm. Ridley was 18, is what I was thinking.
Lavernius Coles.
Lavernius
for the
Coles,
Jets. I don't know if he ever changed his number.
87.
Correct. How about Lorenzo Neal?
41.
Fullback for the Chargers. You fucking guy. All right, how about this? Jerome Brown.
90. No. Hold on. Jerome Brown from Philly?
Yeah, from Philly. The
99.
Defensive lineman.
99. And Reggie White was 92.
I hate you, bro. So the only one you got wrong has only played in the NFL for
1 year.
14 games.
Yeah.
Fuck, man.
I told you.
There's something wrong with your head.
There is something wrong with me, I know. But yeah, no, that's fun. So I got to tell a quick story real quick about that shit. Like I told Scotty earlier. I don't know what it is. I was looking up, just random guys to try to stump myself, and I looked at the 1990s All-Decade team, and I get to the cornerback from Pittsburgh, Carnell Lake. I haven't seen Carnell Lake in a fucking photo or in a game in 30 years. And I just said, what the fuck's his number? And the first number that popped up in my head was 37. That's his fucking number. There's something wrong with me. I'm telling you, I wish I can do this for fucking lottery numbers or some horseshit.
Yeah, you got to learn how to do this for like poker.
I know.
And card,
I know.
counting
I got to be the fucking
like,
rain man.
You got to use this for something.
I know.
Benefit.
It's ridiculous.
Like, we're not making any money off this.
I know. Well, we might, but we'll see. But it's just But yeah, no, it's always been a love of mine. I don't know what the fuck it is, but
hey, real quick, I just want to tell you this too.
Yeah.
When I was looking up Jerome Brown, because I didn't know his fucking number, I came across Buddy Ryan.
Yep.
I love the guy. Hell of a coach. And I knew, this guy's the man. I mean, he was 80. The Bears. What was it? 85 Bears.
Oh yeah, yes, the 4-6 defense. Yeah.
Yeah, he creates his own defense. He was phenomenal in Philly, even though they didn't win, but they should have. They were great. And I knew he was a defensive line coach for the Jets. Actually, the year they won the Super Bowl III.
Oh,
which is already amazing. What I didn't know, obviously, is before my time. This guy was also the D-line coach of the Purple People Eaters for Minnesota.
Jesus Christ.
Bro, this guy's been a part of like the best defenses in the history of the game.
The defenses that have nicknames, and this guy's creating his own defense.
Dude, it's unreal. Like
know.
I always thought he was great and had respect for him. Obviously, he was before my time other than the Philly team. But like I can't believe how incredible this guy's resume actually was. Like,
yeah, and then
it's
then
unreal.
Then of course, Rex and Rob, his two sons. Rob was a little bit of a nut job, but I thought he was a great defensive coach. And then Rex, he's got to get back in the league, man. Rex has got to get back in the league.
I think Rex is one of the top defensive coordinators in the league, honestly.
No,
I
but
just think his pride won't let him come back as a defense coordinator. He wants to be head coach.
No, but I'm saying he's
not a great head coach.
But if he's in the right system and he can shut his fucking mouth like a little bit, you can't turn him off because that's Rex. But if you get him in the right situation with the right pieces, you don't think he could have done the same shit with, say, Kansas City that Andy Reid did? I mean, come on,
100%.
Well, give him the talent.
I don't know.
Give him the talent.
I don't know. I don't know because Andy Reid helped develop Patrick Mahomes. I'm not going to go there, but like, let's say he went to, for instance, if Rex Ryan went to Seattle, it'd be.
Well, you made a great point the other episode where you were talking about what if Rex Ryan was with the Josh Allen Bills. Come on.
Yeah, I think that would have been a wrap.
Come on.
I mean, you got to go somewhere where the quarterback's already like.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't want to give Josh Allen that much credit, but that probably would have been a wrap because the offense was so good last year. But like, if you go to a place that has an established quarterback, I think Rex would dominate.
Yeah,
a guy like a place like Kansas City, I got to give Andy Reid credit. I think he kind of built and molded and created what we see now.
And just imagine if you guys had a quarterback that wasn't a game manager like Sanchez with Rex Ryan.
Rex never had a quarterback. He never had a quarterback.
But yeah, so that was fun, and we'll do this more often. It's fun. I want you to stump me. And again, Becton, you son of a bitch. I mean, it's amazing. I guess my long-term memory is way better than my short-term. But that was fun. This was episode 18 in the fucking books. We can't wait to get episode 19 out there. We're gonna get Dr. Tomas on soon and bullshit with us. But again, we need your questions. We want your feedback. We want to figure out what you guys like, what you don't, and what you guys are looking forward to in the 2021 NFL season. So until then, this is Rocco B, and for Scotty G, we'll see you later in episode 19, and see you later, and sayonara.
Adios.